folks, and welcome to Subjective Thoughts. And our book for today is Before Your Memory Fades. This is the third book in the Before the Coffee Gets Cold series by Toshikazu Kawaguchi. Now there is suicide, mentions death, illness, some sad moments. So if you are in any way squeamish, you have been warned. Also, spoilers. Oh, and there also will be some spoilers to the second book in the series. Alright, so this was translated to English by Joffrey. I'll leave his name here on screen. I don't know how to pronounce his surname. Right. So, I haven't made a video about the second book after I finished reading it because there wasn't enough for not really much to talk about. It was worth a video. I'll add it here. Now, the reason I decided to make a video about this one because there were some things that happened that I wanted to talk about. Okay, so some updates from the second book. First of all, again, spoilers. Is Kazu has gotten a boyfriend and has also gotten pregnant. And now we learn that only the female members of the Tokita family can pour the coffee. And they can all do it from the ages of 7 and up. We also learn that if the female members are pregnant with a daughter, they lose the ability because it gets transferred to their daughters. So that was some interesting bit of news. Also, we learned that the lady in the white dress that sits there in the cafe is actually Kazu's mother. She went to see her deceased husband and didn't come back before the coffee got cold. And so she became a ghost. It was so sad to learn that. And we also learned why Kazu was like the way she is. It's because she didn't think she deserved to be happy, because because obviously her mother couldn't pour the coffee for herself. She asked Kazu to do it, and Kazu felt responsible for what happened, because before that she's been a really happy child. It was such a thing to see. So yeah, those were some updates. So she's now in this book, she's married, and in the second book, she couldn't pour the coffee after she's gotten pregnant because she had a daughter. But if if they're pregnant with a son, though, they can still pour the coffee. It's just if it's a daughter, then that's it. The powers are hers now. All right. Yeah, you have to be okay. You have to be a born Tokita family member. That's why Kai couldn't have poured the coffee, even though she married into the family. You have to be born. So her daughter, Mickey, can pour the coffee. All right, so that's pretty much it from. Oh yeah, and then the second book also. I don't know exactly what happens, but Kazu's mom finally leaves. I think maybe it's because Kazu now realizes that she can be happy thanks to the detective gentleman from the second book, who goes back to the past to because he wants to give a gift to his wife. And it's so yeah, I think maybe now that she knows that Kazu will be happy, she just leaves. And instead of her appears a gentleman in a dapper suit. So now he's the ghost. So that's it for the second one. And now for this one, they so in the second book, Kazu, her daughter Sachi, who's now 7, and Nigera, Kazu's cousin, they moved to a different place in Japan. I'll leave the name of the place here because I not even sure how to pronounce it. But yes, they leave to this other place. It's a coffee shop run by Nigera's mother, Yukari. Yukari was her name? Yeah, let me just make sure. Sorry. I'm terrible pronouncing names, usually foreign ones. Okay, I'm sorry, just a second. Yeah, Yukari. Okay, Yukari. I hope I said that right. So yes, they go to to Yukari's cafe because she has left to America to help a young man find his father. So now they've been there 2 months, and that's why. So in the second book, Nigera's wife Kai, who she also gets pregnant, and she sadly dies because she has a heart condition. She can't. The doctors tell her you won't survive. After the birth, it'll be too hard on your body, and she uses the chair to go to the future to at least get to see her daughter at least one time. So now when this happens, the times get mixed up. And instead of her traveling 10 years to the future, she travels 15 years. And so at that moment, Nigera's not in the cafe, but she still gets to meet Mickey. So it's all fine. But yes. So anyway, they're in this location. There's new people, new stories, some new characters. But it also kind of, when I started, I was like, wait, what the fuck? I was like, is this some kind of chain thing? Can they open a cafe anywhere and you can just travel back to the past? I just, okay, I don't get this. In the second book, a gentleman appears in the location in Tokyo, which is where at least why I assumed the original cafe. But now we learn that there's another one that his mother runs where you can also travel back in time. And everything's the same. They even have the same three clocks. I'm like, did you bring the clocks with you to that location? Or do they all come with a clock? How many ghosts are there? Is the ghost of the gentleman at two places at the same time? It just what the fuck happened? You see what I'm talking about? It was so jarring. It's like, so wait. So you can open several cafes like this and just have people travel to the past or to the future. I mean, the rules are all the same, but it was so baffling because you read the first two books and you're like, okay, so it's only this little cafe, it's only in here, and then no, wait, no, you can go anywhere. I mean, I suppose there's nothing wrong with that. It's just so jarring because it's never been mentioned. It makes you wonder if this is something Mr. Kawaguchi decided later, or from the start was he's like, I'm gonna have two locations. Because you get it, it said like this cafe was built and it was always like this, and it has this like weird qualities about it, and then there's this other location. It's kind of like, so wait, does it even matter where it is? I don't know. Kind of slightly makes it less special, I would say. But maybe I'm wrong. We'll see. Okay, also, in the time of this book, it's been 14 years have passed as well. So you see, it's just so weird. And also, another thing is we have two. Wait, two. No shit, three actually. Three of the four stories. The people go back to see someone who has passed away. And the interesting thing is, in the first book, and also the second book, Kai, no, not Kai, what I'm saying, Kazu would give this like little alarm that she would put in the coffee cup for people who went to visit someone who passed away, so they wouldn't stay beyond the time. I guess they've completely abandoned that now. Now, granted, these people went to see someone at least two of them, who hasn't recently died, but still, it's like, what? Did we abandon that idea altogether? Not that I ever really understood how the fuck that alarm really worked to begin with, because it starts belling when the coffee gets too cold. But still, I mean, I get it now. Okay, so Kazu can't pour the coffee anymore. It's now up to her daughter Sachi. But still, it's like what that no more. You don't want to do that anymore because that was quite helpful actually. But okay, I suppose doesn't matter. It's still, that was funny. I was like, what if we abandon that helpful tool you came up with? And Kazu came up with that one. Yeah, all right. Anyway, yeah. So yeah, the story, the book goes as always as the last two. We have four stories, and between them, time passes. At least most of the people are regulars in the cafe, and they all go back to, and all the go back in this case to the past to see someone. You know, the stories are all bittersweet. I want to say we had quite a lot of visiting dead people in this one who have died. Sorry. Even the last story, although that someone is still alive, but then in the end she also passes away. Yeah. So yes, basically, Nigera, Kazu, and Kazu's daughter Sachi. Kazu's married to this guy she met at her university. He's a photographer, so he mainly is barely home most of the year. He travels and takes photos, sends them postcards. So yeah, he came, Nigera came over to take over that location because his mother left to America. And it's unclear when she'll come back. She hasn't come back. At least where described how she came back in this book, but in the last story, we learned that said Nigera went back to Tokyo, so I assume they all did. So interesting. Oh, we also got to see a couple from the first book here again. They're already in their 70s, which I say wonder how old were they in the first book then. Although granted, some years passed because in the second book we do go some time forward. Because Miki is almost 7, so yeah. Yeah, I suppose maybe together it's been like 20 something years, so yeah, fair enough. My mathing skills are shit. So yeah, that's it. We also have one prominent thing here. There's this book called 100 Questions, 100 Questions, which actually we learned that Yukaru wrote. So these two option questions where the theme is the end of the world. So you have to pick one. What would you do, basically? I should make a. I wonder if there's books like that that exist. That would be a fun thing to play. Kazu's daughter Sachi, throughout the book, she asks people these questions. So yeah, that's about all that happens. Now after reading the third book, I don't remember what I said about the first one, but I think the whole point of these is just to show that yeah, you can't really change anything. You just I think what it's trying to basically say is you can't change the reality, but you can change your perspective on it. As the people in the travel back just get an epiphany or a new perspective, and yeah, it doesn't change their lives, but it does help them move forward, which is very lovely. And yeah, also something you should really implement in life. Let's face it, most of the time life kind of sucks, especially in hard moments that are described in this book series. Yeah, that's about, I think, really all I had to say. Not much of detailing the plot. I just had to talk about it. As I don't really know anyone who's read this. I will report there is still no cat, even though there's a cute one on the cover. Okay, I don't understand why there's not even a cat in the book once. Like, you don't even hear about street cats. Which, again, I guess is not important, but why is there a cat on the cover then? I mean, if there is one, you shouldn't. Okay, this kind of makes sense. We do have the chair. The books also appear in this, and the different. Also, the way that you see the sceneries. Those also are things that happens in the book. Hell, if I go get the other two books, I bet if I look at the windows on the covers, I will see something that also happened. But where is the cat? There's no cat. I'm still butthurt about that. I wanted to see a cat. I mean, read about a cat. But yeah, anyway. But that's about it. I do love the covers besides the fact I'm a bit pissed there's no cat. But yeah. Alright, so that is it, folks. Let me know if you've read this series. What did you think about the third book? Are you also a bit baffled at the fact that you can just go to another location and still do the same? You think it kind of ruins the magic? Well, not ruins the magic, but makes it less special. Or do you think it doesn't really change anything? Did you like the book? Did you not? Let me know down below in the comments. Alright, folks, so that is it. Now remember, collect what you're passionate about and share it on YouTube. Bye!